YouTube, what's going on with y'all, man? We are back with another dialogue. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but just wanted to make sure I had the right subject and topic of what I wanted to talk about. So, in today's video, we are going to jump into fear, and kind of like what it means, and is there really a way of overcoming fear, right? So, I have a little audio clip that I want to play, just to give us some perspective actually to what fear can do to you, and what you can do if you're troubled by fear, which is the title of this video. Troubled by fear, just change your channel. So let's see what this is about.
Many times in my daily life, fear stops me from doing small things and bigger things. Fear from failure, fear from maybe from rejection sometimes. How to overcome this fear?
You cannot overcome something which does not exist.
First thing off the bat, this guy said that he deals with fear in his daily life and fear of rejection. And the first thing that this man came out of his mouth and said, you cannot overcome fear with something that doesn't exist. And to me, that's so true, where, he'll touch on it more in this video, but a lot of times fear is just something that we made up in our minds, and, we put all these things in our head of different scenarios and stuff like that, and thinking that, if I was to go here, this is a possibility to happen, or, if I try my luck with this person, or whatever the situation is, we let fear hold us back from so many things. And sometimes it's just things you cannot control. So let's continue this video, see where he takes this guy.
Right now, are you in fear? Right now. That I may say something damaging. Is it the fear? Every moment of your life you're in fear? No. So, when you're not in fear, just stay like that. Because to create fear, you have to use excessive imagination. To not be in fear, you don't have to do anything. Fear is happening because of excessive imagination, things that have not happened, you're creating. What may happen in your mind happens in 1,000 different formats, and most probably it never happens. The things that you feared, take 100 things that you have feared, probably 99 of them never happened, isn't it? Yes. So your fear is always about that which does not exist. You cannot fight or you cannot overcome that which does not exist.
And I'm just going to leave it right there. You guys can, I'll link the video in the description, so you can watch it all the way through. And what he said is so true. There's no way possible to fix something that doesn't exist because of scenarios you made up in your mind, right? And just save some time here. In the rest of the clip, he starts to say, he compares fear to being a director of a movie, right? And he's saying that if fear is something that you made up in your mind, it's almost like you're writing a script or you're writing a movie, right? And he was saying, if you write a movie about romance, he was like, let that be your film. Let that be the channel that you tune into. Or if you write in your mind, you write ideas of profit or major gain in your life some kind of way, whether it's financially or mentally, whatever it is. He was like, basically let that be the thing that drives you and not fear. Because a lot of times fear will hold you back from so many things. And like he said, it's things that you made up. And it's like, if you fear, or if you have fear in your life to the point where it's dominating your life, it's going to hold you back from a lot of things. And, you know, when I was younger, I always had, like the guy said, you always had that fear of rejection. And, you know, that was one of my major fears, was that fear of rejection, whether it be, you know, fearing getting turned down, or fear of getting rejected from a job, or, you know, whatever it is. It was always that word fear that was stuck. And it always seems like fear is the one thing that always sticks with us no matter what. Like, you know, good there. I feel like there is a good fear, and there's the fear that holds you back. And you're probably like, Trav, what do you mean good fear? When I say that there's a good fear, there's a fear that would help you to maintain a certain level of level-headedness. You know, your process of the decision making process. You know, I feel like if you have that little bit of fear in you that's saying, you know what, if I'm to do this, this could be the outcome. I feel like in a way that is considered to be fear. You know, because you're afraid of the outcome that, you know, it may cause. So I feel like sometimes there is a good and a bad fear, but a lot of us have that bad fear where it just tends to not let us progress in life. It tends to let us not let things go of the fear of it happening again, you know? So the question that always raises in my mind, and a major topic that you see a lot online as well, is how to overcome fear. And in my opinion, I truly fear there is no way to overcome fear. I think that saying, how can you overcome an emotional thing, to me is impossible. As many times, or as much as you can say, well, you know, you could go to therapy for whatever, there is never truly a way to truly erase a feeling. It's almost like saying, how do you overcome rejection? As much as you can sit there and say to yourself, you know, if I get rejected, it's okay, because, you know, I've developed to a certain point where rejection doesn't faze me. And we all know that's a lie. No matter how much we try to say that to be true, it's not true. Because when you get rejected, you know, I'm speaking in a way of saying it's not going to feel good to get rejected, right? But the one part of rejection that you can overcome is your response to it. It's how you take that rejection. Or you say, like how people say, how can you overcome sadness or depression? I don't feel like you can overcome it. I feel like it's a constant battle of how do you deal with it. And it's almost like, you know, going into that world of when they say you overcome, like, you know, if you lose someone, like a loved one or something, you never really overcome it. It's more so of, you know, the way I kind of deal with the loss of family or friends is you kind of had to put them into, I say you put them in a safe space in your heart, and you hold them there, you know. And sometimes when you think of them, your eyes will water up, but you know, you get to that point, you're like, it's okay now, you know, because you know that they've moved on and they transitioned to something better. So it's always a thing with me that I don't agree with the sentiment of overcoming fear or overcoming an emotion. I think the better word for it is how to deal with it and how to handle it, you know, because there's no way of truly overcoming it. You know, it's just all about how you deal with it, how you take it, and how you choose to use it. If you think about it, like rejection, if we go back to that, if you choose to take rejection two different ways, you could either take rejection to be a thing where I give up. You just put your hands up to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But now I'm not talking about for women now, dude. So y'all dudes out there that just, if a chick say no, leave her alone. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more in the sense of like, you know, you get rejected for a job, or you get rejected trying to finance your first car, or a car period. You get rejected trying to finance a house, anything like that. Or you know, you could either choose to be like, well, fine, like, you know, if I get rejected for this house, then I might as well just stay in an apartment for the rest of my life. That's not the case, bro. If you decide to take rejection that way, then you're never going to excel to where where you're supposed to be, because you've given up. And that's the same thing with fear. You could either choose to let fear run your life, or you can, you know, be in a space where you face fear head on to the best of your ability. And, you know, not saying like a situation where, you know, you're putting yourself in danger, but just facing certain fears, man, it can, you know, push you to a level that you never thought you'd get to. So, yeah, that's just kind of how I've been feeling. Is just, you know, try to work through those fears and work through the different things that are holding you back, and don't let those things hold you back anymore. Try to progress as best as you can, change your outlook on things, you know, just grow. It's all about growing. Like I said in the last video, my biggest fear is to get into a mindset of this is good enough, or get into a mindset of, you know, I should just give up, or, you know, even having the thought of, back to what we're talking about in this video, is this scares me. So I'm not going to put my best foot forward and go do this because I have a fear of the outcome. So that in itself, to me, is just my message for this video, is for you guys to identify what your fears are, identify the things that may be holding you back in your life, and just transcend past them and work with them. You know what I mean? Work through them, you know, and when certain situations arise, think to yourself, how will I handle this? How will I handle this differently than I have before? Will I continue to let these certain feelings and, you know, situations, will I continue to let them kind of control me? Or will I, you know, figure out a way to take that energy and put it into a different outcome? So, yeah, you know, that's pretty much it for me. I know this is a shorter one today, but that's kind of where I've been feeling, man, is just trying to strive to get better in every aspect, you know, whether that's reading or you know, studying things like that video that I'm going to link in the description. It's just creating a better version of you and transcending the things that have been holding you back for way too long. It's time to step out of that. It's time to grow through it. And it's time to stop using excuses, you know. Just don't let the things that put you in fear hold you back. It's time to grow. So, yeah, I think that's it for me. And I appreciate y'all joining me again, man. And y'all have a good one.